Good morning, everybody. It is Wanda here on a beautiful sunny morning in Kiama, New South Wales, 2 hours south of Sydney. Welcome all of you from all parts of Australia, America, Canada, the UK and Asia. How are you? How has your weekend been? Have you been challenged? Have you done something exciting? Have you spent time recharging your batteries? You know, it amazes me on a daily basis that when I was a child, time, in my view of time, and maybe some of you can relate to this, time used to go so slow, like a whole day was just, you know, very, very slow and boring. And, you know, in the age that I am now, I find that time flies. And back in the olden days when I started on my spiritual journey, people used to say then that the time as we know it, because if you fully understand and embrace quantum physics, there is no such thing as time. Good morning, everybody who has jumped on. Hi, Hamish. Good to see that you've resurfaced in the world, my love. I hope you are well. Now, and Michelle, how are you? Who else has jumped on? Hi, Anakin. How are you, darling? What year are you in high school now? Holy moly. You'd be probably in year 9 now. Oh my God, the time is flying. I don't want to know. Too much happening. Anyway, getting to this major shift that's going on. How have you been feeling? Have you had your 3 days of misery going underground like a mole, you know, to resurface like the rising of the phoenix, you know? Wonderful. I know that for some of us it can be very challenging to explore the shadow side of ourselves, and this is what I wanted to very quickly share with you today. In order for us to rise like the phoenix, we need to shed our skin like a snake. Why? Because when we take on the radical responsibility of our lives, of our life, and I'm not talking about fault and responsibility. This is something I got from a training that a wonderful lady shared with us yesterday. Radical responsibility is actually being completely and utterly and totally responsible for every experience in your life. Because we have been brought up to believe that in the negative circumstances of our life, that life happens to us. Oh, this happened to me and I got divorced and this person betrayed me and this sucked and my family don't love me, and we go on. We tell this story projecting our blame, and actually what we are doing is we are pushing the responsibility of our participation in it. Now, I know this is what the awakening is all about. The awakening is all about us realizing that we are responsible for everything that has happened in our life, even if we didn't actually mean it. Now that sounds a bit weird, but it is actually the truth, because we are embedded in the law of attraction, or in the law of cause and effect. And so last night I was actually listening to Dolores Cannon. Now she's passed on, but she was like, she was an amazing woman who did a lot of therapy work with clients and got them into like a state of hypnosis, right? There's a lot of her information on YouTube, Dolores Cannon. Now, she was, I've just lost my train of thought. Hang on a sec. So she actually induced people in a state of hypnosis, and these people were able in the hypnosis to get to their higher self. And the higher self was actually the one that was actually saying to them, we are here to experience and understand that we as a physical form can manifest, that we are here to remember our divinity. And the very first step for you to remember your divinity is to take on radical responsibility for your life. right? That no matter what has happened in your life, and mind you, I have had a miserable life in many ways, and I lived myself in blame, in self-blame for a lot of years. And so in order to shift that and change that, I had to own my part in what happened, even when I was not aware of it. That doesn't make me scot-free, because all the actions that I took in my life and the decisions that I made led me along a certain path to experience what I needed to experience. And if you look at it from another perspective, this is what I'm asking you to do. Look at it from another perspective. If you're still playing the blame game, stop it right now. It's not serving you. Take on your own responsibility for whatever actions or no actions that you took as part of the scenario, and look at it from another picture. Look at it from another view, as if you're like the eagle flying up high and you're looking at it from a non-subjective point of view. You're looking at it from a different point of view, and that different point of view is, well, okay, I put myself in that situation and I have a certain responsibility of that. I'm not talking about fault, I'm just talking about responsibility. And so you can do two things. You either forgive the person who violated or hurt you, and forgive yourself. And how do you do that? And what do I always talk about on these lives? I talk about the Ho'oponopono prayer, the Hawaiian prayer of love. I sort of say it from, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Now, does that mean that you're forgiving the person who perpetrated you or really hurt you or whatever the case may be? No, it doesn't mean that. Forgiving means releasing that so you can get on with your life. And forgiving yourself from a very deep level is also your responsibility too. Why? Because the healing in your soul requires you to take that action. So look at yourself as a work in progress. Me as an artist, I'd say look at yourself as a canvas, and you're recreating a beautiful image of your divine beingness on that canvas. Does that make sense? All right, well, there was my, I don't want to call it a rant, there is my little tip for today. Taking on radical responsibility. Okay, so I don't want to hear anymore, you know, my mother this and my father that and my ex-husband this and my ex-girlfriend this. What is your responsibility in the whole thing? What did you choose at that time that you thought would be okay based on your reasons at the time? Because only if you are prepared to take ownership, radical ownership and radical responsibility for your life, nothing is going to change. You hear me? And that is the truth for today. Now, tell me, guys, tell me, what are you going to shift today? What can you be, or what do you know, or what are you going to accept as the radical responsibility for you moving forward? It's very powerful. You know, when you take on radical responsibility, it doesn't make you feel bad. Well, it shouldn't if you're doing it properly. If it's making you feel bad, or, you know, I don't want to be responsible for that because that person did it, we'll go, well, you were in that situation. Take on the responsibility for you at least getting to that situation and looking at it from a perspective, what did it teach you? Did it teach you self-love? Did it teach you to be mindful of others? Did it teach you to use compassion? Because, you know, the old program is pretty screwed up in terms of us understanding ourselves at a very deep level. And so no matter what, guys, you will not be able to escape it. These 3 days of ascension that are happening for everybody on the planet, everybody who is alive right now will be going through this and making their decision to step up and become the beautiful light that you are, all of you right now at this moment. What are the cards going to tell us today? Okay, so I'm hoping deep in my heart, everyone, that you will comment comment. Why do I always say comment? I say it because when you are listening to me and something is resonating with you, or there's a bit of resistance, write it down. Why? Because you put it out there and you're reading your own, what you wrote, and that's reflected back at you, and it's something that you can shift, or it's something that you can let go of. Does that make sense? So we reaffirm the learning. We let our souls know that we're listening. That is majorly important. Now, I know that after so many days, you know, you don't see that post anymore, and you may have forgotten what you wrote, but your soul remembers. And at a deeper level of self, you have healed yourself. You have healed that little part. Now, you might not feel it, but only when a circumstance comes up that you know that you respond in a different way from how you've previously responded. And there's the evidence, that little bit of healing. So listening right now to the teachings and participating is very important, not for me, for you, very much for you, at the littlest level. Even if it's microscopic, it's still a little step forward. And there you have to congratulate yourself. If you're the kind of person listening right now and you are hiding in the bushes, step out of the bushes and front up. That's radical responsibility. Making yourself be seen. Expose yourself in a good way, of course. Expose yourself in a way and going, well, this is who I am. Because you know why? We are all of the one light. We are all of the one light. It is in our world of difference, of right and wrong, good, bad, ugly, gorgeous, that defines us, and that's not who you are. So there we are. Okay, today's reading, everybody, is look at this, the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is about celebration. Well, it's going to be my birthday on Friday, woohoo, and I'm planning a little celebration. For the rest of you who are on right now, if you've been doing the hard yards and you've been down a dark tunnel and you've come up, celebrate that, because you have risen like the phoenix. Celebrate every little thing. That's something I never used to do. Every time I, did something good, I didn't celebrate myself because I was too busy still being, on point with things. But celebrate your winnings, even if they are little, because that brings you joy, and we live in joy. Our world is for us to enjoy. So the Three of Cups, what does this mean? Love yourself. Go and find a friend and go to the movies. Go and celebrate. Now, when I say celebrate, I don't mean go celebrate, get yourself so stinking drunk. Well, if you have to, well, fair enough. It's just going to, it just creates havoc in the body. That's all, alcohol, if you have too much of it. Go and celebrate. What I mean by have a laugh. Go and take some time out for yourself. I'm always, always, always talking about this. But the Three of Cups also means you could be invited to a wedding very soon. You could be invited to an engagement party. We've got 2 weddings coming up in the next few years in our family. There could be a celebration of a new bubba coming into the world. For those of you who are looking for relationships, you are 3 months off. 3 months off the relationship of your life. So what do you need to do in order for yourself to get prepared for that? There is 3 months of this time of preparing yourself for your greatness. So this is the celebration card. I hope that makes sense. What a lovely card for the first for the Monday of the working week. Of course, I nearly said for the first whole week. I don't do the weekends. I take some time off. Okay, so who am I going to read for today? Now here we are. Let's have a look. Okay, there's a girlie here that whose name I can just read there. Her name is Beck Crawford. Beck, are you still on? Give me a hello, or send me some heart bubbles or something and let me know that you're still on, because Beck, this is for you, darling. Okay, and then we all know that because it's for Beck, it's for all of us. Alrighty, don't forget to comment. Let me know what you're going to do. Let me know what you're feeling, because I do respond. A lot of you probably get likes, but I do respond. And look, like again, I get personal messages all the time. Look, yes, I am available for soul readings if you require. It can be a one answer. It doesn't have to be a whole reading. You just let me know what you want and I'll help you. Why? Because I am committed to creating today's tarot to help you along in your life. Why? Because I've been through it. I've been through a lot of the stuff that you guys are going through right now. And look, I'm a work in progress like you, and I like to share my wisdom and I like to share my psychic ability, basically. So, you know, I'm a very straightforward kind of a reader. I don't throw any BS all over the shop, because every time you start talking or writing, I hear what's missing on the inside. So that is why I help. I choose to help. It's something that I do, and it's a gift. So here we are, Beck Crawford. Okay, here we go. This is for Beck. The Angel of Serendipity. I think we've had the Angel of Serendipity before. What does that mean? Here is the beautiful card. Look at that, holding up the baton. Okay, here we have the baton or the magic wand. Right, look, oh, this is amazing. There's magic in the air right now, right? Even astrologically, there's magic happening. There's possibility. Thank you for the love hearts. I can see them sort of shooting up like bubbles. I feel like a little fishy in an aquarium. The angels of serendipity are here to demonstrate that we all have our natural intuition. And what we do is we forget it because we're so busy in the monkey forest up in the head. Right? Now, there's a monkey forest in Bali, and when you go into that forest, all you can hear is the monkeys squawking. And that's what it's like up here. And you can't see the forest for the trees because it's so busy going on up here. And that is where Eric Ho comes in, and he talks about the power of the breath. Because breathing, even Wim Ho, who, what's his last name again? Wim, I've forgotten his last name. Anyway, he talks about breathing as well, because it keeps us, brings us back to the body, and it sort of, you know, lessens the monkey mind, getting into that spirit, listening to that natural intuition, and having the trust and faith that you listen to that. We all have that. And I'm sure that if I asked you to comment below again, you know, what was your biggest intuition, you would be able to tell me that this deep sense that you have. And that is our calling. Getting back to Dolores Cannon again, she said we are here to manifest. And what helps us manifest is our natural intuition. So Beck, and for everybody online right now at this minute, in this quantum field of existence and reality, opportunities are coming your way. There's excitement. Now look at this. What was this card all about? There's excitement, and use your intuition. Allow yourself to be guided by the God force, by the universe. Allow yourself to be guided. Say a little prayer to yourself. You know, something like this. Okay, show me the way. I am your channel. Show me the way, and show me in a way that I can understand. Show me so that I get it. All right, does that make sense? That is for today. As a matter of fact, I've got a feeling that these cards are for the week. Write it down. The Three of Cups, which is about celebration coming up, excitement and happiness. And this one, write it down, the Angel of Serendipity. You have the magic in your life already. You are already that. All right? I hope that has helped. If I can help you in any way, personal message me. Don't put it in the feed, because sometimes I've got messages coming through days after this video has been made. And I'll go back to it, and sometimes I've missed things, and people have said, hey Wanda, I messaged you in the feed and you didn't respond. So I don't want to do that to you. I don't ignore your responses, but PM me. Get me through Messenger and go, hi, Wanda, it's me. How much are your readings, and can you help me with this issue? Does that make sense? Guys, have a beautiful celebratory day. The magic is always with you. Believe it. Have the faith that it's always there at every minute. Have the faith. Walk out of the monkey park and come down here to the soul level. Guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm back online and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.